Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about the two main formulas that relate, the two zeros of quadratic equations together. So those formulas are as follows. So here uh, we have x1 plus x2 equals to negative b over b over a, and x1 times x2 equals to c over a. Now these two formulas can be really useful, and in the next video I'm going to cover some possible extensions of this and give you guys some examples of what you can do with these formulas. And these formulas is really well tied together, how the two zeros of a quadratic equation, how they relate. And of course this can apply to any sort of quadratic equations. So as you can see here, proof for any quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So these formulas are obviously derived from the quadratic formula, which is here x equals to negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So let's just get started with the first proof. So for x1 plus x2 equals to negative b over a, well, the first step that we can do here is that we can set up the equation. So obviously we know that the quadratic formula has negative b plus minus b squared minus 4ac, so it has two different forms. So what we can basically do here with the formula is that we can put set x1 as the positive square root of b squared minus 4ac, and have x2 be the negative version. Obviously they're interchangeable, so it really doesn't matter which one you put where. So we have listed it out as I've just shown. So the next step is that we can kind of combine them because they already have the common denominators, so we can simply just add them. And after we add here, we notice that b squared of minus 4ac, one of them is positive, one of them is negative. So now we can just simply cross them out, eliminate them. So eventually we end up with negative 2b over 2a. Now we notice that it's a fraction, so we want to reduce it to the minimum, to the smallest form. So here with 2b and negative 2b and 2 over 2a, so both of them have a 2, so we can divide both the denominator and the denominator by 2, and we get and the numerator by 2, and we get negative b over a. That's the first formula proved. And for the second one, so we have x1 times x2 equals c over a. Again, we listed out with x1 being positive and x2 being the negative version of square root of b squared minus 4ac. And remember multiplication, we have to multiply out both the numerators and multiply the denominators together. So next step, what we can do is just set it up like so. And then 2a times 2a, 2 times 2 is 4, and a times a is a squared. So that's what we get for the denominator, and in terms of the numerator, we can just set up the equation. As we can see here in the brackets, actually, there are two different terms. So there's negative b in each one, and there's also a positive square root of b squared minus 4ac in the first bracket, and a negative square root of b squared minus 4ac in the second one. So we have to kind of, use a technique called we have to distribute. So because basically we have to times the first negative b by the second negative b, and first negative b by the second negative b squared minus 4ac, and then we can use the first positive b squared minus 4ac times it by negative b, times that, but also times square root of b squared minus 4ac by negative b squared minus 4ac. So for the first one, negative b times negative b, we get b squared, and for negative b times negative b squared minus 4ac, negative, they cancel out, so it's positive, so we get positive b square root of b squared minus 4ac, and And for the last term, we have negative brackets, and be careful, because if you just immediately lose the bracket, then the b squared minus 4ac, the negative 4ac part, is going to continue to be negative. However, it really is positive because there's a negative outside the bracket. So the next step, obviously, we can simply do b squared minus, so we can combine the like terms. So obviously, b squared root of b squared minus 4ac and negative b square root of b squared minus 4ac, they cancel out because one's positive, one's negative, so they can just be added here. So we have b squared minus b squared plus 4ac, because negative makes plus. So b squared minus b squared, we always know, already know that that's going to cancel out. So the next step, 4ac over 4a squared. And of course we can cross out 4a, cross out the 4a here, and cross out the 4 on the bottom, as well as the squared, because obviously we're canceling out a 4a, and there's 4a squared, so we have 2 of the a's, so, and then we can only cancel out 1, so we get a 4ac over 4a squared. And then the last step, after that, we get c over a. So these two formulas are super important. They're super useful. You can use them for a variety of questions that can give you guys basically a better understanding and an advantage in different problems. Again, in the next video, I'm going to try to cover some examples. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and peace out.